Hello, namaste and assalamu alaikum. This is my third out of 3 parts of my Aamir trilogy on how he peaked in his prime in the 2000s. And this time we complete the trilogy with the 2009 film Three Idiots, starring Aamir Khan himself. This film is memorable, nostalgic, humorous, romantic, and serious, changing the theme of the film dramatically as you watch it. The film stars Aamir Khan as Rancho alongside his friends Farhan and Raju as they miraculously complete college despite being idiots. Then, 10 years after Rancho disappears, they set out on a mission to find him. Now, this film was many people's childhood, including mine, and for good reason, as it's iconic with its songs and story making it very rewatchable for anyone looking for a good time. Now, before I go on, please, if you enjoyed this video and my other ones, consider subscribing, as it means a lot to me. Anyways, since I haven't entered yet, let's dive into a movie where all is well. The year is 2008, and this is also the first Aamir Khan film I'm speaking about that isn't made by his production team, but by Rajkumar Hirani, under his production. By 2009, the film was ready and released in December that year. Hirani wanted to create a film to challenge the highly controversial education system in India and highlight how easy it is to overwhelm students. Aamir Khan, as a kid that he was in his 30s playing the character, like he looks older than he was in Tara Zameen Par, which came out 2 years before this. But with the help of makeup, big clothes, camera work, and lighting, he appears in a much more youthful way. Our three idiots are Aamir Khan as Rancho, Sharman Joshi as Raju, and R. Madhavan as Farhan, who all work together with their comedy, fear, and wonder to create a humorous trio that we'll all root for and watch him escape trouble and cause much more throughout the film. We also have the amazing Kareena Kapoor, Boo from Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham, who plays the role of Pia, who will be Rancho's love interest in the film. And I think that's enough information for this movie. So with that being said, enough gobshop. Let's watch. The movie starts with a dial card and a plane departing from Air India, where we meet one of our idiots, Farhan, who gets a call, where he should have been in airplane mode, but whatever. Anyways, listening to that call, he gets really concerned and he decides to get off the plane, but looks like we're about to get off. And looks like he got too concerned, and he faints. So the plane has to circle back and lands, taking Farhan off with it in a wheelchair. What we see there was all part of his plan, and he runs off at the airport, gets in a taxi waiting for someone else, and he calls this guy, Raju, who's his friend from college. He tells him about a call on the plane with someone called Chatter, but they call him Silencer, and he told him that a guy they knew named Rancho is coming, aka Aamir, which was another one of their college friends, and the reason he faked that emergency. So Raju jumps out of bed and gets ready in such a rush, he forgets his pants. Once they arrive to their destination in the car, they jump out, they climb up a water tower and meet this guy, Chatter. Chatter is basically a dickhead. Instead of telling them where Rancho is, he boasts about his money, house, and Lambo. After they ask why he's showing them this, he rubs off an etch on a wall with that day's date, September 5th. And then we get a small flashback to Chatter saying angrily that in 10 years, come back here and see who's the richest. After some arguing, Chatter admits he knows where Rancho is, in Shimla. So road trip begins, with 2 friends and 1 man who's willing to drive a far distance just to boast to a classmate about his success from a bet they made 10 years ago. We then get a beautiful montage of the background and them travelling, with the cast and production team member names appearing with it. Then we get the real flashback, as Farhan's reminiscing about his life. Farhan tells us about his childhood, and within minutes of being born, he was told he'd be an engineer. So with his fate being sealed, nearly 2 decades later, he enters college, where he will fulfill his parents' wishes. He walks in and meets this little dude, who everyone calls Millimeter, who's an uneducated worker who's just there to pick up bags, wash dishes, etc. He escorts Farhan to his room, but not before stopping to photograph cute dogs, which Farhan seems to enjoy doing. He's roommates with this guy, Raju, who's a very religious man, and wants to graduate no matter what. A perfect A student. That night, they all get in their underwear and to be disciplined by the senior students, to show dominance or something to the new kids, I guess. Then Rancho walks in. Anyways, he refuses, so they begin to pee in his door. So Rancho creates a device where the guy gets electrocuted and making all the seniors retreat. Oh, and Rancho is also sharing a room with Farhan and Raju. Sweet. The next day we meet, hopefully I pronounce this right, Dr. Viru Shasaha Tuarbudi, who everyone just calls Virus for short, who's the director of the Imperial College of Engineering. ICE. Not that ICE. Which is the best of the best college if you're looking for engineering. Virus is played by the legendary comedic actor Boman Irani. He's a really competitive man who learned to write with both hands, and he has this annoying lisp in every other word he speaks. He brings a model of a curl bird in a nest and uses an analogy for his students. He tells them that ICE receives over 400,000 applications a year and only 200 get selected. After talking about how life is a race and if you don't compete you get trampled, he pulls out a pen. The pen, made by scientists to use in space, that he was given to him as a student for his excellence, and was told to give it to a student when he found one as excellent as him. But to this day, he still hasn't found a student, making everyone want to get it. Then Rancho questions why he didn't use a pencil. Humiliated and frustrated, Varus leaves. Raji then warns Farhan not to associate with Rancho, as he's just a troublemaker and will get in his way of graduating, but Farhan likes his recklessness. We then get told more about him and how he enjoys machines, and that there's another student just like him, Joy Lobo. Joy is heavily pressured into engineering by his father and is determined to make it into ICE, but due to his father being sick for 2 months, he missed a deadline for his project, so Varus calls Joy's father to tell him that his son failed. He explains that deadlines are deadlines. Angry and sad, Joy throws his nearly finished project away and runs off, but Rancho finds it. Joy then starts singing a song about his sadness. Give me some sunshine.
Give me some sunshine. Give me some rain. Give me another chance. I wanna grow up once again.
This makes Rancho want to fix his machine and to surprise him with it flying outside his window. Raji sees no point in helping others when Rancho should be focusing on his own study. So Rancho puts Raji's hand on his chest to make him say, all is well, spelled with a double A and double T. Then we get a song with the same name, All Is Well.
By
the end of the song, Rancho makes Joy's machine fly, but as they're ready to show him, we see this. Yikes. We then have a funeral, where Rancho tells Varus that Joy was murdered by pressure for studying, not by himself. Then in his office he tells him about the amount of deaths brought by students due to studying in India, and how the education system is wrong. Varus takes it as an insult, so he makes Rancho have to teach, so he does, and makes the class laugh, angering Varus. Then Varus writes a letter to Farhan and Raji's parents about their misbehaving friend. Angry, Farhan's father invites all 3 boys home to show them that they're not so well off living conditions, and to scold them, but Rancho notices the wildlife photos made by Farhan. His father then explains that Farhan used to want to be a wildlife photographer, but they got in the way of his studyings, so they made him quit it. Then they go off to Raju's home, where his father is paralyzed, his mother is sick, and his sister is trying to find a husband. Their living conditions are even worse than Farhan's, so she also scolds them, and they also leave without eating. Now all hungry, they see a wedding, so they dress up and sneak in. While they are eating, Rancho sees a man scold his girlfriend for wearing a cheap watch, so he goes and tells her that the man isn't the right man for her. She tells him to get lost, but after he shows her how greedy that dude was, she gets annoyed and brings her father. Uh-oh. We also get told it's his sister's wedding. Double uh-oh. So they get told to meet in the office tomorrow. The next day in his office, Varus explains to Raju and Farhan to move to Chatter's room to stay away from Rancho, because he's just a troublemaker. So they all talk on the tallest about what they're gonna do. Raju tells them that he needs to focus for his family because of his dad, so he ends up moving in with Chatter, who isn't just a nerd, but also a scum, as he would just blame Raju for everything and make sure he fails, and everyone else so he wins. Silencing everyone. Thus the name, Silencer. Anyways, Silencer has a speech he will present for Teacher's Day tomorrow, and since he's in Hindi, and he's still learning, and to cut corners, he decides not to realize the meaning of the words and just say them. After realizing this, Rancho rewrites the speech while Farhan prank calls him, so on presentation day, where Silencer is meant to impress Varus by a noble and memorable speech, he makes a mockery of himself and Varus. As he reads Rancho's altered script, and despite everyone laughing at him, he still continues to read it. Okay. But even after this, Raju still doesn't join them. That night, Silencer, drunk and angry, makes a bet with Rancho and Farhan to see who will be richer in 10 years, following the academic way or the fun way. So while on top of the water tank, he etches the date, which is what we saw in the present day. Anyways, Rancho goes to the mall with Millimeter and his machine and bumps into Pia, Varus' daughter. She recognizes Rancho and gets mad because she knows he altered his speech and what he said about her boyfriend earlier. So Rancho once again proves that the man is a rich snob, and she breaks up with him. Feeling sad, she doesn't want to talk to Rancho, but after he gets an important call, he has to get on a scooter, because they have to rush to Roger's home, whose father's having a stroke. So without an ambulance, they have to bring him in their scooter right on time, as if they had waited, he might have died. After hearing this, Raju, who is immediately mad at Ranchu for bringing him in a scooter because of how dangerous it is, he forgives him for his carelessness, and all three become buddies once again. Then on their way out, Rancho and Pia start bonding, and out of nowhere, Pia just likes him. Classic Bollywood love, I guess. And they know this, which makes it even more funnier. And then we get a song, Zooby Dooby. Where Pia sees them everywhere and they sing about their feelings. After the song, back in real life, the boys fell asleep at the hospital, so they have to arrive to school late for an exam where the timer ends before they even finish. So they do a 2002 Slackers, Do You Know Who I Am, sheet swap and scram. Then I guess a few years go by or something, because it's results day, where Raju and Farhan come dead last, and Rancho comes first. So not only these two were mad, but so were these two. Then they take a group photo where Varus makes a bet with Rancho that if either one of the other two idiots get an interview at a job, he'll shave his beard. Back to present day, we arrive at Shimla, where they find out Rancho lives in a mansion, so they go there and find him. But that's not Rancho. And then they find out altered school photos, so they believe this man had stole Rancho's identity. So after a funny standoff scene, this dude tells them the truth. He was a rich man's son who was told to do engineering, but had no passion. And Rancho, the gardener's son, did, so he took place for him at the school under his name, until they were caught. But due to this, the father forced our Rancho to finish his degree, so he did, and never returned home. Only that two idiots will come one day looking for him. So the real Rancho gives them their Rancho's address, and they leave. Apparently he's a school teacher in Ladakh. Back to the flashback. That night while they are drinking, Rancho tells the dude that the reason they failed is because they didn't follow their heart. Both due to fear. Farhan never wanted to be an engineer, but a wildlife photographer, and tells him to give the letter he wrote 5 years ago to his favourite photographer. And Raju is also afraid to never get his family out of poverty. Rancho, on the other hand, likes engineering. That's why he topped his class. But then the two of them say that Rancho also lives in fear of telling Pia his feelings. So they make an agreement. If he tells her her feelings, they will both do what he said. So they all sneak into Varus's house, climb through the window, and Rancho goes to the bed where he confesses his feelings, saying he has a dream about Pia every day, about them going for a kiss, but the noses collide, waking him up. Then this lady tells him that the noses never collide. He gets scared and realizes he was talking to Pia's sister. We also see that Pia's sister is pregnant, and when Rancho says that all is well, the baby kicks. Uh-oh, Varus comes, so they run. But not before saying a drunk Raju peeing on his premises. He tells Raju that he knows Rancho was a part of this, and either he has to leave or Rancho does. Not knowing what to do, he does the unthinkable. He's then taken to the hospital, and Rancho and Farhan are praying for the best. Finally they get told that his body is paralyzed, but his mind is alert, so keep him happy by saying nice things. And after many, and I mean many attempts, nothing works to wake him up. Until finally they mention his sister and his heart starts beating more. Then Rancho says that she's going to get married to Farhan and wakes his body up, now awake, and tells them that he knew they were lying. Anyways, Farhan gets an interview at an engineering job, but Raju says he will take it because Farhan's letter got posted by Rancho and the guy wants to meet him. So Rancho tells him to speak to his father heart to heart, and so he does. After some arguing, long story short, his father agrees, and Raju goes for the interview, where he talks about his struggles and fears. Instead of being a yes man, a long story short, they agree to hire him. Then they both go to Rancho and salute him, in their fun friend way, with Rancho trying to hold his tears back. Oh, and because they both got jobs, the bet is complete. But he does a "this isn't over" Rancho, and decides to rig the exam so Raju fails. Pia hears about this, and that night all drunk, she comes to Rancho and the boys to tell them about the test and give them the keys to switch the exam in Varus's office, so Raju doesn't fail. Then she tries to seduce Rancho and tries to kiss him, but Rancho refuses and sends her away, breaking her heart. Oh, and speaking of Pia, Farhan remembers her, and since they're finding Rancho, they probably should get her as well. They ring her up and figure out she's getting married today. So they immediately change course, but Sansa doesn't agree to this, as he has a meeting with some guy named Wangdu on the next day. So they decide to kidnap this grown-ass man, steal his car, and drive 4 hours to go crash a wedding. And instead of a montage, you just cut to them immediately making there. And of course the groom's the snob. Farhan finds Pia and tells her that they found a college lover, but after what had happened, she can't bring herself to go with him, and says that this dude is a changed man now. Raju pretends to be a servant, and while he's meant to be ironing the groom's pants, he spills sauce on it and runs off. And with hesitating too much, she has to go. So there she is, sitting next to the groom, under the cloak. But wait, that's not the groom. It's Raju. Farhan pulls up in the escape vehicle, and Raju tells her that they need to go, but she's afraid of people laughing at her. So he takes his cloak off and gives her some advice. Oh, hi, Varus. After that, she agrees, and now she's a runaway bride. Oh, and in the car they tell her that they don't know if Rancho's married or not. Back to the flashback, it's Farhan and Rancho sneak into Varus's office to change the papers, but they can't find them, so they call Pia through his work phone. Uh-oh. So we cut back and forth between Varus and the two as they make it out just in time before he arrives. Never mind. The boys arrive back and tell Raju the news, but he refuses to get the answer sheet and wants to do it on his own. Then Varus comes in with policemen, beats Rancho with an umbrella and forces them out by morning. He then returns home angry to Pia, who is hurt and also angry at her father. Then she reveals that her brother, who we were told earlier in the film accidentally died falling off a train, didn't die in an accident, but on purpose. Due to the pressure from the system and his father, he wanted to be a writer but was forced into engineering and he couldn't take it anymore. Pia then begins to confront her father for his ways of teaching her what it does to students in a very emotional scene. But even after all that, Varus refuses to believe that his son did that. That night it begins to storm a lot, and many facilities close down due to the awful weather conditions. We see our idiots leaving their college all sad. Then we have our climax. Pia's sister's delivery time is ready, and due to the submerged city, there's no hospitals open. Rancho finds her in Varus's car and gets her on the phone with Pia. Since she's a doctor, she needs to instruct Rancho to deliver the baby. Uh-oh. So they carry her to the table tennis board, connect the computer with Pia's in the hospital so she can see what's happening. Then Varus shows up angry but gets silenced immediately. So they cover her up and Rancho checks for any crowning, and Mona, Pia's sister, faints. So now they need to use a vacuum cup to suck the baby's head out because she can't push. But they don't have one of those. But since Rancho's an adventurer, he knows he can make one out of a vacuum cleaner and other objects. Then they give the key to Varus's room and go to collect the vacuum. But then the power cuts off due to a thunderstrike. Now not only do they need to make a vacuum cup, but also need to make a charger, so they all split up and get their resources. Once they get everything, Raju flicks on the switch and it works. Now it's time for a vacuum cleaner baby delivery. And it's a success. They cut the cord and place the baby in a towel. But while everyone's celebrating, they realize he's not crying. It's a boy, by the way. Varus somehow knew. Anyways, no matter what they do, the baby just won't cry. But after some comforting Mona saying all is well, they get a kick. Just like in the tummy. So everyone begins chanting all is well, and once you know it, the baby kicks again and starts crying. They did it. Happy, everyone starts celebrating, and Varus picks up his grandson and tells him, surprisingly, to be whatever he wants to be, shocking everyone. Meaning Varus' character arc is complete. Then as Rancho begins to leave, Varus stops him. He reminds him of the first day of college and now he asks why didn't they use a pencil. Because if the tip breaks, then it's useless, and he says he can't always be right. Then he gives Rancho the pen, saying he found the student, and that him and his friends can stay at the college. Cut to the end of the year, we get a Student of the Year award during the graduation, and it's no other than Rancho. And while everyone is celebrating and hugging, Rancho leaves for what they didn't know would be the last time. Back to the present, the crew make it to the school, and see a bunch of kids inventing and just having fun, so they know this is the right place. Silencer gets untied and goes for a pee near a wall. Electrocuted, yeah. Then they bump into a guy, who turns out to be Millimeter, now grown into Centimeter, who shows them to Rancho, who's playing with kids. And then he sees Pia, and he's in awe again. And just like his dream, she walks up to him, but instead of kissing him, she slaps him, finally confesses his love for her, and so does she, and they kiss. And she shows him their noses don't collide. Then he gets chased by his friends, before happily reuniting. Oh yeah, him. Silencer comes back to brag to Rancho about the 10-year bet, and that he's more successful than him, and demands the pen that Varus gave him. So he gives it. He then says he got a meeting with the Wangdu guy, and goes to leave. But Rancho pulls out his phone, turns out he is the rich Wangdu guy, and calls Silencer, who's now out of words. He begs for them to forgive him, but they all laugh and run away while he chases them. The end. What a movie that was. Aamir Khan did an amazing role playing Rancho, a know-it-all who's humble and goofy, making him really likable. Not only does he solve problems by himself, but by helping others around him, like he tried with Joy, did with Roger and Farhan, and they used his wisdom to change Pia's mind as well. Speaking of characters in the film, they all went through a dramatic change from the start till the end of the film. Well, most of them. Rancher's character teaches us that to do what you want to do and not what others do, and you'll regret it. The film was shot across all of India and the Himalayas, especially scenes of Raja and Farhan driving. All the places that I've named the characters going to were actually where the scenes were filmed. So no fake shots. Well done, Hirani. For 3 Idiots didn't have many songs like other films, but the hits All Is Well and Doobie Doopie are fun, catchy songs that any kid can enjoy. With a budget of 70 crore, made that much in the first week, and made 340 crore altogether, being Aamir's second highest grossing film ever. I can see why. 3 Idiots left an impactful message towards adults and kids all across India and overseas as well, with a rumoured sequel perhaps in the making, but who knows. This led to the film earning 6 Filmfare Awards, which were Best Film, Director, Supporting Actor, Screenplay, Dialogue and Story. And with this film being done, so is my recap series on Aamir Khan and how he peaked in the 2000s. Next time we'll be covering a new Bollywood actor and their biggest hits in their respective era. But for now, this one has become to an end, and this has been 3 Idiots. Thank you and goodbye.
Zooby dooby pampara, zooby dooby parampam. Zooby dooby nache, kyun pagal stupid man.
Zooby dooby pampara, zooby dooby parampam. Zooby dooby nache, kyun pagal stupid man.
शाखों पे पत्ते गा रहे हैं, फूलों पे भंवरे गा रहे हैं,
दीवानी किरणें गा रहे हैं, ये पंछी गा रहे हैं।
वो बगिया में दो फूलों की हो रही है गुफ्तगू, जैसा फिल्मों में होता है हो रहा है हूबहू।
आई 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 zooby dooby pampara, zooby dooby parampam.
Zooby dooby nache, kyun pagal stupid man.
Zooby dooby pampara, zooby dooby parampam.
Zooby dooby nache, kyun pagal stupid man.